Welcome to another special episode of Supernatural Stories. For today, we have another special episode, and the story is from Kai. Do subscribe and like to have more ghost stories for you guys to watch. So, this story happened to me 5 years ago when my wife was pregnant. I usually work the night shift and usually come back late at night, roughly around 10 o'clock. So, when I'm usually at work, my wife will be home alone taking care of the house. The story starts off when I was off one day and my wife and I had a plan to go out shopping and have fun. So, I brought her out to the mall to get her stuff and went to watch a movie. By the time we finished our movie, it was roughly around 11:30 p.m. The plan was to go home, but my wife suddenly said she felt hungry, so we went out to a nearby coffee shop, and after eating, I felt tired and wanted to go home. But my wife said it's not always we go out often, so she said she wanted to go to the beach. I know my wife is pregnant and it's not a great idea to go out to the park or the beach late at night as there is spirits or ghosts. So, since thinking about it, and I know I'm off on that day, and it's not very often we go out, I agreed and made our way to the beach. The beach we went was CHANGI Beach. So, when we reached there, my wife said she wanted to sit nearby the waters to look at the ocean. So I agreed and followed her to a spot. The place was quite dark, but I do not really believe in ghosts, but I follow those superstitions. So, at that moment, seeing how happy my wife is, I just ignored and go to a spot nearby the waters. Sitting over there for around 30 minutes, everything was okay. It was very chilling and very peaceful until I heard sounds of children crying. I did nothing much at first because it was the beach and maybe someone brought their child to play. But after thinking for a while, who on earth would bring their children to play at the beach after midnight? So knowing that my wife is pregnant and I do not want anything to follow us home that night, I ignored it. The sounds of crying became louder, and I look at my wife and I don't think she heard it. So, in Malay, we have a thing where we say jangan tegur. So, I keep ignoring it. Suddenly, after a while, my wife looked at me, staring in fear. She asked me, "Did you hear that?" In my mind, I was like, why did she acknowledge the sound? Because following the term jangan tegur, if you tegur or acknowledge the sound, the thing knows that you hear them and they will follow you. So let's continue to the story. I told her nothing. I did not hear anything, and maybe it was just an imagination, but in my mind, I knew she had heard what I heard. After a while, I see a silhouette of a woman near the beach. I did nothing because maybe it was just another person who is enjoying herself on the beach. I ignored it at first and looked at another direction, and when I turned back to see if she is still there, she had disappeared. Feeling uneasy now and scared, I told my wife to pick up our things and get out of here. But before leaving the park, I needed to go to the toilet, so I told my wife to stay here near the toilet and don't go anywhere. After peeing, I got out of the toilet and I found my wife was not there anymore. She had mysteriously disappeared. I looked around searching for her, and when I looked back at the place where we sat, she was sitting there in the dark, alone. When I walked towards her, I can see her playing with her hair. I asked her, "Why did you come back here?" She did not reply and started staring into the abyss and playing with her hair. At that point, I knew something was disturbing her, or maybe she is possessed. So I quickly said prayers and hold her forehead and asked the spirit which is in her body to come out. It took a while saying prayers until my wife suddenly passed out, and suddenly she woke up asking me what happened. At that point, I did not want to question her anymore, so I just took her back to the car and go home. When at home, I told her to wash your hands and feet and take a shower. Luckily, throughout the whole night and subsequent days, nothing strange happened. And that was the terrifying story from Kai. Whew. Reading these ghost stories give me goosebumps. Honestly, this is one of a scary story, seeing a silhouette at the beach. And thank you for listening to Supernatural Stories. Please press the like button and subscribe button to not miss any more episodes. Thank you once again, and good night. Bye bye.